It is always a beautiful thing to grow your own fruits, crops, and herbs. This is my blueberry bush. And this right here is a Swarovski pomegranate tree. It's about 2 years old. Started bearing fruit this year. Knocked the fruit off so it can grow a little bit bigger. And so that way the branches get a little stronger. This is a red berry bush. Voila. Starting to bear a little bit of berries. This is the second. And this right here is a loquat fruit tree. Very pretty leaves and structure to this tree. This right here is the fig tree. My father had grown this years ago. Still growing now. Very big tree. Producing a lot of figs. And needs a lot of water. This is a berry tree or bush next to a Russian pomegranate plant. That's next to a baby fig plant. That's beside a blackberry bush. Whole bunch of blackberries, as you can see, already coming in. This is the second year and it is fruiting a whole lot. This is probably the most fruits on any of my berry bushes or trees. And then you go right next to that, find another Russian pomegranate and a whole bunch of mints around it. A whole bunch of mints. This is the pomegranate. As you can see, it's getting long. This right here is a blackberry bush and they are spreading. They just keep growing out the ground more and more every year. So you got to watch up and keep up with these little guys or else they will multiply like there is no tomorrow. Right here, got a bunch of mints. More mints. Another pomegranate tree. This is probably the fourth one. I love pomegranates, so I had to grow them. Right here is an apple tree. I think that's what it is. Not too sure, but I think it's an apple tree. I grew it years ago, like 2. And don't remember what I planted right there. This mint plant is almost growing like its own little bush. Like a mint bush. This was an apricot tree. Didn't take good care of it while transplanting it, I guess. So it just stalled out and just froze right there. It's not all the way dead. But I don't know what to do with it. So I'm going to just let it sit there and try to rejuvenate. This is a cranberry bush. A yellow raspberry bush, golden raspberries, and a cranberry bush right beside it. And as you can see right here, I got a bunch of prickly pears. Very sweet and tasty and almost exotic looking cactus fruit that grows every year. Starts off as a flower and turns into a whole bowl of fruit. Now I'm gonna have to get some decoy owls in here because these birds keep going off on my fruits. They'll eat half of everything I put up or more, most of it, a lot of times. These right here are avocado trees. Grew them last year. They're still around this year. This is a peach tree. Tell it's already grown. And this is a pear tree. Pears everywhere. I have to trim this down a little bit or at least prune it a little better. Couple of different herbs and spices, tomatoes and stuff under here. This right here is supposed to be a date tree in the future. Started growing it last year and it's doing great already. So these will produce dates. This is a Georgia peach, and as you can tell, the bugs is going off on this. They eating all the leaves off of this and anything around it. This is a Georgia peach next to a whole bunch of mints. This right here is goji berries. They're supposed to be very healthy for you. And voila, there goes a beetle on it. But goji berries are supposed to be very healthy for you. And they're supposed to promote good health. So definitely grow these, must have in the yard, especially if you grow them, dry them up if you don't like eating them raw. And another good thing to have in your yard if you're planting a whole bunch of things to avoid lead in your plants is to grow a whole bunch of sunflowers around. This right here is the golden plum. Should be producing fruit by next year. Lemongrass, vegetable pot, basil, and more vegetables. Definitely start growing your own gardens. It's best to always grow your own stuff. What could be better than growing your own food? You know what's in it. You know it don't have no additives. You know it's not genetically modified or none of that. You know it's not sprayed. It's always best to grow your own food. You know, they tricked everybody here in the United States or in the West to believing that having a good patch of green grass in front of your home somehow shows that you're of royalty or that you got money or something like that. But patch of green grass in front of your house doesn't provide you or your family no benefits at all. If anything, you're just creating a job of you having to work of cutting the grass without no benefits coming from it. Instead, use your front lawn or backyard or anything like that to grow fruits and vegetables that'll help you and your family get through these harsh years coming up. And at least you'll become less dependent on the government or the people outside, because everything that you got is grown in your own yard. And plus, when you start growing your own stuff, you kind of change your whole mood and vibe of how you carry things or how you want to eat. You change your whole health lifestyle. You become a whole lot more healthier because now you're more cautious on what you want to intake or what you want to put in and take out your body. That's the best way to be, for real, is to be more health conscious about what you want to put in your body. You know, a lot of the foods that we're buying from these markets are really messed up. They're full of a whole bunch of metals. And if they're not full of a whole bunch of metals, they're full of sprays and a whole bunch of other toxins that pretty much harms the body. And if you get on their medicines instead of trying to deal with it with natural herbs and remedies, their medicines actually have side effects that mess you up more than your official problem. So it's like they're trying to drive you down the lane of dependency on the health infrastructure or the healthcare system. So the best way to stay away from that is to try to learn how to deal with any of your health issues using herbs, natural herbs and medicine. None of these pills and all that. You know what I'm saying? Use holistic ways, as you know that the holistic ways of doing things is the best way of living. It's natural. God had created everything that we need right here on earth. Everything that we need to live. Down to this little bug. She got everything she needs. We all got everything that we need right here on earth. But instead, we want to depend on these doctors that are mixing up things to basically have us keep coming back. They're almost like the new drug dealer, without no type of government control or without no type of authority to keep them in check or to keep us safe or none of that. It's like our politicians are being bribed during their campaigns to do things for these group of people that don't care at all about your everyday average citizen. And it's sad that our government isn't thinking about that, isn't worrying about us or worrying about our health. Do you know in Europe, none of our foods can be sold in Europe? Our Kit Kats, our cereals, our sodas, a lot of the stuff that we eat here, all our sweets, all our junk food, all of that, even our pork, our chicken can't be sold in Europe. They don't like none of the stuff that we have because they feel like it's too contaminated with too many harmful things. But yet our government here in the United States still allows these big corporations who fund their campaigns to become in the places that they're at to basically not write no laws or put in nothing in play to stop these big companies of using these fake sugars and all these additives to basically bypass them having to use the expensive real ingredients. Instead, it's just a whole bunch of artificial things that basically give people diabetes and a whole bunch of other problems. So definitely start growing your own fruits, the vegetables, and any other foods that you can. Don't depend on them. And definitely try to heal yourself using herbs and natural medicines. The best thing to try to get is a herb encyclopedia that they got online. I will update y'all with that soon. I'll make a video on it or something. Peace. Y'all have a blessed one, and let me know what y'all think. Or if y'all do be growing your own stuff.